Okay, should be live. I'm just gonna check something. Still says it's waiting for me. Okay, it's fine. Let's start. It should be able to reload. I just want to make sure I can get the One second, guys. Sorry to keep you waiting. If there is something there. Okay, so we are live indeed. So we're gonna start cleaning this guy. I already started cleaning him, but we had camera issues. Something, network connection failed. I'm not sure exactly what it was, but yeah. So I'm just going along the bottom of this kingfish. The other fillet came out a little bit nicer than this one. I don't know why it didn't get put up live, but I guess Wi-Fi or something, it didn't get connected properly. Not exactly sure. Oops, almost knocked over the camera. Okay, so now that I've done that, I'm just going to come right here, all the way up to the head, along those rib bones. Just like that. Okay, should be one completed piece of kingfish. That's one nice piece of kingfish. And a little bit of imperfections, but it's pretty nice. There we go. Here's our 33-inch kingfish. I think we're still live, so yep. The other fillet, the other side is a little bit better. I'm just using a Smith's knife, I believe. Yeah, it's a 9-inch knife. It's really nice. Now I'm gonna clean the other king, or no, the other Spanish. I'm not gonna clean the Spanish. Spanish was not cold enough. It was still very soft because you just put it on ice. So I'm just gonna skin the kingfish and steak it up. I'm debating if I want to skin it or just leave it with the skin on. I think I should probably skin it. Just cut this guy out while I'm doing it. Just like that. Stomach liner, it's not great tasting. I don't particularly like it, so I'm gonna try and do it in one long kind of pull. I'm not sure how it's gonna go exactly. Yeah, it never goes well. Yeah. These guys are really hard to skin. So, oh, I messed that up. Took off a little bit of skin. I guess it's just gonna be me trying to skin this fish little by little. So right here I can feel the pin. Pin will stop. I'm gonna cut, stake it. Not stake it, but cut it. Then I'm going to flip it over and try and get my knife under one of these little skin tabs. It's just super, super hard to fillet. I mean, not hard to fillet. It's one of the easier fish to fillet, but one of the harder fish to skin. It's the only thing I do not like about kingfish. They're great as long as you have them super fresh. It's the best way to eat them. You have them raw, you have them cooked. Gives you anything you'd like with them. Almost anything. They're just a little bit of a softer meat, so You can't really grill it. Yeah, they're nice and oily, so they have fatty acids in them. I have no clue what I'm doing on this side because I cannot see it. Okay. Not the greatest job I've ever done on a kingfish. Okay. Cut that right there. Okay, that's not terrible. Yeah, I think the skinning is where we went wrong with this guy. We're looking pretty good now that I have all the skin off. I think I'm gonna switch to a different knife on the next one. I mean on the other fillet. And on the Spanish. There you go. That's one piece of kingfish. Not terrible, not great fillet. Not a great fillet, but definitely not bad. Yeah, I'm just gonna cut this guy right here, just so we have some manageable pieces to cook. Now this piece, I'm not sure exactly how I'm gonna do this. I think I'm gonna lay it face down. I'm gonna poke all the way through here. I'm just gonna remove the pin bones first. Sorry, this is the first time I've actually done this. This is the first time I've filleted a kingfish all the way up to the top, because usually we stake it, but our friend that had a smoker moved away, so now we do not smoke the steaks anymore. So we don't really do anything with the steaks other than smoke them. So yeah. Just like that. Took out those pin bones. Pin bones, they are okay. Let's see if I can get one out. There are these bones. They run from the backbone of the fish. You can see that's a pin bone right there. It's really hard. It doesn't want to move. But they run out from the spine of the fish all the way out to the skin, pretty much. And I'm not exactly sure what their purpose is, but you do not want to get those in your fillet unless you're going to pick them out, which is okay. But you don't want to leave like one in. That means people will never know if you have a pin bone in there or not. I hope this will end a little bit better. I'm going to use a little bit of a duller knife, just so I can not cut through that skin as easily. Yep. Just wash, rinse, and bag. Rinse it in the saltwater brine. Yeah, we'll give some away. Make sure always rinse your fish in salt water. Makes it taste much better as opposed to fresh water. It basically just makes it all mealy. I forgot about that. I should probably cut that out. Yep, that's where I gaffed him. I'm just gonna make a little triangle V-notch. Pretty much in the worst spot it could be in, but not too much meat wasted. It's more than I thought. There we go. You just don't want to eat that because it's super bloody. There we go. Took out that V-notch. This guy to here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, so I took the gaff shot out. It's now not the prettiest piece of kingfish, but you really don't want to have blood while you're eating kingfish in your mouth, because then it's going to make it super fishy and not really desirable to eat. Just made a little notch here in the loin. Just gonna go this all the way to the tip. Oh my goodness, that's the best skinning I've ever done of a kingfish. Look at that. Daddy. Look at that. That is really nice. Let's see if I can skin this one in one piece now that I have a better knife to use for it. I'm going to use my super sharp knife just to get rid of this. These ribs. Don't want to eat them. They're just big bones. That's nice. I thought I wasn't going to like it. Didn't want to use that. I wanted to use a duller knife on this because it doesn't break through that skin easily. Get it really close to the edge of your board. That way you can be really like up and on it. It'll make skinning it a whole lot easier. Okay, looks like I got everything off besides, yeah, that. That's not terrible. Right there's where I gaffed him 2 times. And the other side is 3. And I missed him twice. Or no, I missed him once, and then I stabbed him twice the second time. Because it slipped out of the one. I'm just taking these short little pulls at the skin, trying to get it off. It's another super hard fish to fillet for me, or at least to skin it. Oh, I messed that up pretty badly. Yeah, forget it. I just want to get the skin off. Okay. I take that back. I think the other fillet is a little bit nicer. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
When you take the skin off, the way you just do it.
Yeah. Cut right there, because that's where the last pin bone is. Yeah. Actually, I forgot to do that. I'll just do that when I cook it. Remove that bloodline. Nobody wants to eat that. Bugs are biting now. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to cut it straight down. Just like this. There we go. Kingfish almost has this gray meat. Yeah. You can see it's a grayish color. Yeah, it's just really nice. It's oily, but it's really nice meat. Okay. Just wanted to get rid of that bloodiness. Okay. Yep. Yeah, these are kingfish bites. We'll blacken those up. Those will be pretty good. Okay, mutton. Okay, this is my first keeper mutton snapper that I've ever caught. So, yeah, really nice fish. He's 18.5 inches. Caught him on a yellowtail jig on 20 pound test, 12 pound fluorocarbon. Put up a really nice fight. So, which knife should I use? I'll try a new one. I'll try the Mercer. Just to see how it handles. Since I've already used the Dexter and the Denko. I think so far the Dexter is my favorite. The Mercer is super sharp. Okay, now that I've felt that, I kind of feel this. Well, they're really similar. I don't know if I can tell the difference. The Mercer does have a little bit more of like a thin blade, which I like for certain fish. Like fish with a higher backbone. So that like you can bend down, just like this mutton snapper. You can kind of bend the tip of the knife and get around on the other side of that backbone right here. So you can see that you come here and the backbone rises out. So I want to flex my knife down so I can get this meat right here. So it's really nice for that, but it's also not as stiff, so it's a little bit flimsy when cutting through pin bones. Okay, yeah, was a little bit flimsy doing that. Now that I did that, I'm going to flip it over because I want to keep the fish nice and stable. This Dexter, yeah, the blade is a little bit longer as well on the Dexter compared to the Mercer. Yep, got all the way down. I'm cutting back into the head. And then towards the tail. Yeah, the Dexter is slightly sharper, but for like yellowtails, I think I'd prefer the Mercer over the Dexter, but for this mutton, I think mostly for these bigger fish, I'd prefer the Dexter. But I have 3 yellowtails, and we're gonna see which one is better, the Dexter, the Danko, or the Mercer. The Smith isn't really involved in that test, just because it's a bigger knife. And it will be a lot harder to clean it just because it's really stiff and it's meant for bigger fish. There you go. Got all those pin bones. Just had to use that to speed up the process a little bit. I missed 2. I went completely through the pin bones and into the ribs. Okay. But this Smith knife is super, super sharp. I really enjoy it. Comes out of the package really sharp. It's just like the Dexter. Those two come out super sharp. I already cleaned quite a few fish with that Dexter, so it's going to be a little bit dull. I also cleaned some triggerfish today. Some salmon and rockfish, halibut and Alaska with it. Poke the eyes out so it sinks in the canal. So that way we don't have floating fish and angry neighbors. We want happy neighbors and not floating fish. Clean off the Mercer. Bring that to life really nice and close to the edge of the board. Just pull the skin right off. So basically we're leaving our knife pretty stationary and we're just pulling the skin through the blade. Like, we're just pulling, I don't know how to describe it, but we're holding our knife in place and pulling the skin. Okay, took off these 2 bones. There we go. There's 2 little pieces of rib bones. Not exactly sure how they got in there. There you go. That's nice and sharp. Okay. It's a nice piece of fish. A nice piece of fish right there. Mutton snapper. The first one that I've been able to keep 18.5 inches. I've caught some 18. I've technically caught legal ones, but they just were not worth it. They were like 18 and a little bit less than a half. This guy was nice and legal, so we decided to keep him today. See how I'm just keeping my knife flat on the board and I'm pulling the skin through the knife. Maybe wiggling the knife a little bit just to keep things moving. There's not too much meat right here, so I can kind of just cut that. Just like this. These guys are much easier to skin than mackerel. Oops. There we go. Just like that. Took out those pin bones. There's one nice piece of snapper. Okay, so now I'm gonna put that guy off to the side and we're gonna see which knife out of these three can clean a yellowtail snapper the best. So, two of them were about the exact same size, and one of them was 20 inches, so I'm not sure which one I should give the 20-inch one to. I think I'm going to do it by which one has the longer blade, so the Dexter, I don't know if you guys can see. There we go, so we're going to line them all up, just like this, on my hand. The Dexter has a slightly longer blade, so we're going to give that to the 20. This is going to be to the slightly bigger one, and the Mercer is going to go to the smallest. So this is the smallest one. So yeah, I'm going to go at it. It's cutting right up into the head, just like this. Down. This is really nice. This is one of my easier fish to clean for myself, at least, because they have a super low backbone. That the knife just slides like butter through them. This Mercer is really nice. I'm not keeping it flat enough on this side, and there's less stability, so it makes it a little bit harder. I'm just using the tip just to separate it, just pulling the meat off from the bones, just like that. Up, top of the head. Remove that. Okay, we're gonna save all three carcasses and fillets. So we're gonna have 6 fillets, 3 carcasses at the end, and we're gonna compare which one was better. Which one did the knife, or which one was filleted better. I'm trying to do them pretty much exactly the same. I do not have a favorite yet. See-through. Not terrible. Now I'm going to grab the second yellowtail. This guy is slightly longer, so that's for the Danko. These are all 7-inch knives, but the blade length is just longer on some of them. So, interestingly enough, the Mercer and the Dexter are about $40 knives. I think the Mercer's $35 and the Dexter's $42. This guy is $8. So I think this one has the best value. It is the best value. Just, yeah, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, this guy at Walmart definitely gets the job done really well. Yeah, it's really nice, really easy to clean. It's only about $8 or $10. I'm not exactly sure, but it is not crazy expensive for a fillet knife. And this is a really nice knife. It works better than some of the other $40 knives, $50 knives out there. This is also the one that I've used a little bit longer. That's why I'm just a little bit more comfortable with this knife. With the Mercer, that's my first time using that knife. This guy I've probably used 100 times. And it's it's held up pretty well. There's only one thing I really have to say about it that I dislike is the handle. Once fish guts get like in there, it's really hard to clean out. So, yep, I'm just gonna pull that right out. Not a bad fillet. Wait, oh no, I have to keep them separate. So this one is the Mercer's fillets. This is the Danco's fillets. Right here, you can see these lines, they just hold that grime really well. So here, and now we're gonna do the last one with the Dexter.
Yellowtail silver.
Oh, look at this guy. He's 20 inches. He's definitely a qualified or certified, well, not certified, but he definitely is a flag yellowtail. He is 20 inches, so a nice fish. Caught him in 100 feet of water. Nice. He just said, in case you couldn't hear, the mutton meat looks really nice. One thing I do notice that is better about the Dexter and the Mercer is you can basically just slide your knife right down, and you don't have to do like kind of this motion once you get to the tail. So yeah, this guy is actually a little bit harder to fillet, just because, yeah, his backbone is higher than the other two. I'm gonna come on this side. What? No. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how much I'm gonna cook into something. How much I'm gonna cook. I'm just pulling the meat apart from the bones. Kind of is somewhat the same after a while. It becomes the same. Yeah, this is a really quality fish. Yeah, we're gonna finish up on the other side, just like this. The biggest yellowtail we've ever caught. I think the second biggest was 18 3/4, that's 20 inches, so definitely a flag. Yeah, that's how that guy came off. Okay. Here is Dexter's, Danco's, and Mercer's. Let's see, so now it's time to analyze the part that I'm not that great at. So you can see the fillet, it's really nice, it's a solid fillet. Sometimes with some knives you'll see that it's kind of breaking apart, but it's not breaking apart at all. Maybe right there a little bit, but that just might have been me nicking it a little bit. How much meat is left? Not too much, right there. Probably because it's not super flexible and I cannot get to there, but it's also because the backbone is higher. I just realized that. This guy is not very flexible. The Dexter is much more flexible. How did it do? So, yeah, one pretty solid fillet. Just like that. Yep. Oh, right there. You can see, just because it's not super sharp, it kind of pulled the meat with the knife, and it kind of opened that up. So, that's not great. But if you look and see what's left on the bones, there's a little bit of meat left there, just because it's not very flexible. The backbone's really low. So on the Mercer, yeah, looks pretty good. I don't see anything too bad. That was just me popping the guts. Probably shouldn't have done that, but I did try to do that. It's kind of hard not to do sometimes. And yeah, there's a little bit less meat left on the bones. So I can't pick a favorite, but what I will say, this is definitely your better knife for smaller fish, yellowtails, lanes, any yellowtail, pretty much under 15 inches. Plains, mangroves, anything like that. This is your knife for these bigger yellowtails, just because a little bit less flimsy. Yeah, less flimsy. This guy, well, did I explain that right? Yeah, this one's a little bit better for bigger fish. And if anything, I would use this guy once I got down past the backbone. I would start off plating my fish just like this, and once I got down to here, I would switch my knife out with this one. But overall, this is probably a better little fish knife. This is better for medium size fish than this. I'm not sure. I think it's really good between, I think it's a good margin. It's like good middle. Not margin. What's the word for it? It's an in-between knife. It's really good for small fish, really good for big fish, but it does them both, but they're not. It can fillet a broad, I don't know how to say this. It can fillet a large sized and smaller fish. This is more specialized in larger fish. So this does a better job on the smaller fish. This does a better job on the larger fish. And this is just an all-around good knife. But these two knives work better when you use them for smaller and larger fish. This is just gets everything done pretty well, no matter if it's small or large. That's what I wanted to say. So, yeah. It's a pretty nice yellowtail snapper. Goes in there. This guy's carcass goes in there. Yeah. We have a dog snapper, so I'm going to try the Dexter on that just to see how it performs on a little bit of a larger size fish. Yeah, this guy is a really great, affordable knife. So, yeah. This is the one that I used the Danko on, I think. Oops. I did something wrong. There we go. Yeah. See, because I haven't used it in a while, it has not been sharpened, but you can see that like it's hard to get all the way down there, whereas the Mercer, as I'll demonstrate in a minute, it really has no problem cutting through these just like that. I need another bowl. I'll demonstrate that right here, how the Mercer has a little bit of an easier time doing this. See, it had a little bit of a harder time. This guy's super sharp. Yeah, you can really do this once. Go all the way through. That one I cut on the pin bone. I got a little bit too close. Just like that, and you can see it just cuts through a lot easier. This is going to be fun to edit into a real video.
Huh?
So this is going to be fun to edit into a real video because we can have like 2 hours of footage.
You don't need to add this. Just use this.
Yeah, because I need to show which knife is better.
Which knife's better?
It depends. I said this one is more better for all around because it's stiff, but it's still, like, it's stiffer. It's thicker, but it's more flexible, and it can just do both. This is really good for smaller fish because it's really thin, and it's really flexible, so you can get into all those nooks and crannies. It's just a smaller knife, and this is good for larger fish. So this is good for everything. This is more specialized, and this one is more specialized for larger fish. I didn't use that on a yellowtail. What?
Are you cleaning one fish with each?
Yep. I'm just gonna skin this guy with a Mercer and see what happens. It's just super, super nice. And it cuts through it really well. The Mercer. I don't know, I'm getting... No, not yet. The bugs have not come up yet. In where? Oh yeah.
What are you doing next?
I'll do the dog. Oops. That's the problem with this guy. A little bit too sharp. Which is probably just me being used to a duller knife. And also a thicker knife. Just because it's a yellowtail snapper, it turned out fine. And they have really thick skin, so not like a kingfish, where if you go through the skin, then you're gonna have to pick at it for a while. Let me just check my GoPro battery. Hey, we've only been live 38 minutes. It felt a little bit longer.
You ready?
Yep, I'm ready for the dog. Okay, so I'm just going to be doing this guy with a Mercer. Never caught one. I think most people shoot these guys with a spear gun. Ow. That hurt. Just because they live in the caves. Interestingly, I caught this on a vertical jig. It's kind of opposite to what they usually do. Ow. That hurt. Yeah. Because usually they sit in caves and are ambush predators. That's why most people shoot them, because they're in rocks. And they don't really have anywhere to go. You sneak up on them. This guy's 13, so he's legal. The size limit is 12 inches. So he is bigger than the size limit, so he has teeth. It's like his pin bones are really big. That's interesting. This Mercer is doing pretty well on this fish, I would say. Never cleaned one of these guys before. It's pretty similar to a mangrove, just the bones are slightly bigger. It's just kind of interesting, the anatomy, because it's a really tall fish. I've caught some that I thought were legal, but they're just really tall, and they're not. Well, they're 12 and a half. Didn't keep them just because they're half inch over legal. Like that, one cut, done. Yep, okay. Here we go. Here is the trash can fish. Today, a blue runner. This dog meat is really interesting. It looks like a kingfish. It looks like kingfish meat. It's super gray. And the skin is super thick, like triggerfish. never seen anything else really like a dog snapper, except for a mangrove snapper. That's the only fish that's kind of semi-close. It's really firm meat. Never eaten one either. It seems like it would be. Seems like it would taste pretty good. Pretty good. They're rather hard to fillet. I don't know why. Or maybe it's because it's like the 10th fish I've filleted today. And I'm just getting tired. So yeah. I don't know. Something about filleting fish. It's just really calming. You always just want to get as close as you can to the bones. Yeah. Really just, yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but let's move on to our blue runner. So I'm going to snap his spine just like that so he lays flat. Okay, how am I going to do this? So it tasted really good the first time. I hope it's going to taste good the second time we eat it. There you go. Goes down to the back just like that. I really don't feel like getting blue runner guts everywhere. And then I have to fillet a Spanish mackerel, and then I'll be done. So you can eat this blue runner raw, apparently. I never have. But the first time I tried it, it was pretty good. So I'm going to try it again. Okay. Now, how do I do this? I think I'm just going to cut straight up. That's not a good idea. How am I going to do this? I'm going to cut this. Oh, am I even in the frame over here? Yeah, I'm in the frame. Okay, there we go. I cut that, so it's not terrible. They do have higher backbones and they're pretty hard to fillet. Like that. Just kind of go like that, all the way to the butt. Just like that, because the organs are right here, all the way down to the butt. Just gonna slide it along. That's really nice. Pull it back up. Although, a lot of people talk down on these fish just because they have a really fishy flavor. At least some people say that. I think they have really super nice white and flaky meat. I think they're pretty good fish. So, yeah. I'm going to start from the head and skin down with this knife. That. Now you do not want to interact with this bloodline. It is not good tasting, so I'm just going to cut it completely out. That. Should be pretty good for that little piece. Bloodline, just fish food in the canal. And remove this little piece of bloodline. It is really, really fishy, that bloodline. I think that's what a lot of people do when they say blue runner tastes bad. is they leave in the bloodline and they eat it. And that is super fishy. It has really just a crazy fishy flavor. It's not desirable. It just tastes like blood. And with that, go. I think I'm just gonna go from this side this time. I think that's a smarter way to do it from now on. Just to make a little cut right into here. Then remove it from the side where it's on. That.
It takes me longer to dry the fish than it takes you to clean it.
Yeah, because Blue Runner's hard to clean.
I mean, it finishes dog food.
What? Here's our Blue Runner meat. Nothing super substantial, but it's good sashimi. Here's our final fish. Biggest Spanish I've ever seen in my life. You can see he's so big. Barely see his little spots, but camera doesn't want to turn on. Here we go. You can see some nice spots. Nope, not yet. But it's a nice Spanish because you can tell because the fin gets darker from down here, so you can see it's light and it comes to dark here, so you know that is indeed the Spanish mackerel. Kingfish would be all black. I wanted to use the Mercer on this anyways. Kind of like this Mercer knife a little bit more. Yeah, it's quite similar to a kingfish. Just meat quality. I don't know if it's, I think it's pretty close to the same meat quality. But kingfish get much bigger. Yeah. They get much bigger, up to, I'm not sure what the world record is. Probably up to 60 pounds if I had to guess. Okay. Now I'm just going to go right up here along the belly, make a thin little cut through the skin. Flip it over, turn it around. Oops, don't want to drop the tripod. Right into the head because there is some meat in there. You want to get everything you can. And you can also tell it's a Spanish because in the light it kind of glows yellow up here if you look at it from a certain angle. Just like an iridescent, like a bluish greenish up here. I'm gonna break through the pin bones. Oops, should not have done that. But I just made it bleed everywhere. Now I'm just using the flexibility of this knife to basically go flat like this and then go down. Oops. Super soft meat in Spanish. There we go. Fillet number 1. Going to flip it over and complete fillet number 2. Little cut right there, and there's our 2 pieces of Spanish mackerel. Yep. Now we're going to skin that, and today's video will be done. So yeah, thank you for tuning in, but still a little bit more to do. So don't leave yet. Nope. Okay. I'm gonna do that with a Danko knife just because it's a little bit duller than that super sharp knife. All it takes is one wrong move and you're through the skin. Oops. Just slip the knife and just completely cut it. So this knife too is kind of one wrong move just because it's Spanish. And it has really thin skin. What? I know, that's what I did and then I messed it up. Okay. Not terrible. Now we just need to go like this. I should do this with a stronger knife. Okay. Under that skin. I do not even know how many people are watching this live stream. Okay. One person is watching right now, so hopefully that one person is enjoying the video. There we go. I can get rid of all those big pieces of skin. The smaller ones we can just take out when we cook it. Or before we cook it. When we take it out. Okay, that looks pretty nice. We're going to slit it right down the middle. Just that. Now I'm going to do the other side, right down the middle. There we go. Take that guy out. It's definitely a lot less meat on Spanish mackerel because they're thinner fish. Yeah. Okay, just doing the same thing. This knife, I cannot really keep it stationary just because it's a little bit dull. Yeah, left in way less skin this time. It's really nice. Should switch over to the Mercer. Every single time I do this, just makes it a little bit easier. It's really a lot easier just because it's nice and sharp. Okay, now that's done. I'm going to cut right where the pin bones start. Right there. It's not a very sharp knife. This will make for some great sashimi because these loins are nice and thick. Yep. that's it, I guess. All of our fish is clean. Yep. Thank you guys so much for watching. And what? No. Thank you guys so much for watching.